Back here in Nigeria, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has handed over 53 vehicles and $180,300 to the Canadian police on behalf of its citizens who were victims of internet fraud and sextortion in Nigeria. Chairman of the EFCC, Oyewale, handed over the document of recovery to a Canadian senior police analyst and a police liaison officer. Celestina Area reports.
Fighting trans-border financial crimes is one of the core mandates of the EFCC, and also ensuring victims of such crimes are restituted. Today, the Commission has returned cars and monies of Canadians who were victims of financial crimes in Nigeria. Investigation into these recoveries commenced in January 2022 by a joint operation between the Canadian government and the government of Nigeria. 53 vehicles worth over $2 million were recovered. Some of those vehicles were traced with a vehicle inspection number provided by the Canadian authorities to the Nigerian government. There was also another investigation involving Sandra Butler, a Canadian citizen and victim of a romance scam, who sent over 32,000 Canadian dollars worth of Bitcoin to a suspect in Nigeria. The EFCC recovered approximately $16,300 of those funds. Another investigation was conducted concerning Elena Bogamas, another Canadian citizen who lost over 300,000 Canadian dollars in a fraudulent Bitcoin transaction. The EFCC recovered $164,000 from that money.
And to also demonstrate that the government of Nigeria will never, for whatever reason, tolerate any act of financial crimes, and this is a demonstration of that. What EFCC is doing today is doing on behalf of the federal government of Nigeria.
And I'm pretty sure if victims were here, they'll say the same. This is the testimony of your professionalism, your commitment to combat crime, and by extension, I will not conclude my statement without thanking the government of Nigeria as well.
There's a recognition that while we are bound by jurisdictions, criminals are not. And in order for us to fight crime, we need to actually go beyond jurisdiction. And this is why we are here. And we have found that in Nigeria, one of our best partners has been, and hopefully will continue to be, the EFCC.
The EFCC says it is committed to ensuring that Nigeria is financial crime free, and the Commission is accountable to the citizens. Celestina Area, TVC News, Abuja.
Joining me on TVC News at 10 for more on this is spokesperson of the EFCC, Dele, Oyewale. Good to have you join us, Mr. Oyewale. Tell us more about this latest recovery by the EFCC, your cooperation with the Canadian authorities to get this done.
Well, I think this is one of the brightest moments for us as a nation, that the Economic and Financial Crime Commission, through very, very painstaking efforts, that span like about 3-4 years, was able to recover vehicles that were stolen in different locations in Canada by internet fraudsters and other fraudsters, and they were shipped to Nigeria. And, all these vehicles, they were put up for sale, in different locations in Nigeria, but the Royal Canadian Mountain Police contacted us, about that criminality, and we set to action. And we were able to recover 53 of those stolen vehicles. And today, by the grace of God, our very, very hardworking chairman, he handed over 53 of those vehicles to the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, and another sum of money, about $180,000 $180,300 to the Canadian authorities. So I think this is a good commentary. It shows that as a country, we are not receptive to criminality. We are not a nation of fraudsters. And I think that we ring very, very important bell across the world about what the EFCC has been able to do today, both for Nigeria and for Canada.
All right, Mr. Oyewale, but then what strategies is the Commission adopting to ensure that internet fraudsters, no longer thrive in this, in their chosen field, really?
Yes, we have so many strategies. Some of these strategies are operational that I may not be able to disclose publicly. And there are strategies that we all know. We sensitize, we do public awareness, public campaigns, and we make arrests. We all know that. We always make arrests, and we charge any suspected fraudster that is caught, we charge them to court. But we have our own strategy operationally to ensure that this kind of criminality that is giving us very terrible name across the world, is brought to its knees. We are working, and in all our reporting, you can see that across the country, we are making arrests, surveillance, our intelligence, everything. They are working, and you can see what happened today is an eloquent testament to the fact that as a commission, we are not resting on our horse. We are doing our work. And it is in the interest of the whole nation. So we have our strategies.
What is the level of cooperation with the global community in tackling this menace?
Yeah, we have very robust and very, very impressive collaboration with law enforcement agencies across the world. Like this one now, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, they set sail in Nigeria in 2021, and they already have a permanent operational base in Nigeria. We have very robust interaction with the FBI, with many law enforcement agencies across the world. Of course, we know that we have very, very active working relations with Interpol, and we are exchanging intelligence, we are exchanging information about all forms of criminality, that may be happening here in Nigeria. And that is why there is no safe haven for criminals anywhere in the world, because of our collaboration and because of the dragnet, operationally, of the EFCC across the world.
All right, then. Thank you very much for talking to us, Mr. Oyewale. Dele Oyewale is spokesperson of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Thanks again for joining us on TVC News at 10.